I disowned my perfect son and kicked him out after learning he brutally abused his girlfriend. Now my family is outraged that I chose *her over him. Plus one update. Not even sorry about it, and I don't need advice on him or his situation, but the complete fallout that has happened with the family. I will try to be as clear on everything as possible. I, 42 female, have a son, 22 male, and he has a girlfriend, 21 female. I wasn't super close with her as we didn't have a lot in common, but I liked her as a person and welcomed her into the family. They had been together for just over a year. Over the past 6-ish months, I had noticed a change in her behavior. She and my son usually came over at least every 2 weeks for a family dinner. I knew they were having some money problems and financial stress, so I chalked it up to that. They came over last Christmas for dinner, along with about 7 other close family members, all vaccinated and negative tests for COVID. She was quiet the whole dinner. Afterwards, I was catching up on some dishes and cleanup, prepping desserts, and she joined me in the kitchen and asked if I needed help. I gladly let her come in to help me with the pies. She seemed skittish, so I asked her if she was okay. She looked at me like a deer in headlights and then started crying. I thought it was about money. When finances are tight, the holidays can be hard. I pulled her in for a hug and told her if they needed help, they just had to ask, and asked her if there was anything I could do. After a few minutes of sobbing, she was able to stop, and she just blurted it all out. My son was abusing her. She showed me the bruises on her arm from him grabbing her, told me how she couldn't talk to her family without him present. Told me about how he controlled all of her money, and had her move in with him and made him the main holder on her bank account. She cried and said he wouldn't even let her buy tampons and told her rolled-up toilet paper was enough. There was so much more to it. I stood there in shock as she told me all of this and more. Finally, she stopped and took a deep breath. I don't know how to get out, I'm scared. I wanted to kick him out of my house then and there, but having been abused by my son's dad, I knew that would make things worse for her. I told her, go out there and act normal, don't say anything, keep your head down and do what he says. I told her I'd get her out as safely and soon as possible. It took a few days, but we did just that. She is staying with me while we get everything like her bank account, which he has almost emptied, and living situation sorted. I also told my son he is no longer welcome in my home, and he is no longer my son. Maybe it was an extreme reaction, but I'm not asking if I'm an asshole here. I would do what I did over and over again. The issue is, what little family I do have, on my son and on my son's dad's side, are outraged that I'd choose her over him. Damn right I did, and I'll do it again. How on earth can I get these people to see my son for who he is, and be able to repair and maintain relationships with my family without allowing my son in my life again? Update. My last post blew up, which I wasn't expecting. It got locked fairly quickly because of karma and comment limit, and I got a lot of supportive messages from people. As long as the moderators allow this post, I thought I'd do an update. It has been just over 2 weeks at this point, and she is doing well as anyone in her situation. She has been slow to take care of things. Some days all she can do is lay in bed. I know how she feels, so I indulge her in that regard and try to support her to take care of at least one thing a day. I have her making a daily to-do list, and I put on it even the most simple of things like update resume and take a shower, because crossing something off a list can feel fulfilling. Her ex, my son, showed up at her work. Her work was not very understanding of her situation, and she went home early that day and then put in her letter of resignation. She is college educated and has been working on finding another job and dabbling in the idea of going back to school for another degree. She is still living with me. That likely is already obvious from what I have said so far. I told her she is welcome to stay with me as long as she needs. I was once a struggling single mom, but once I got my master's, things were better financially. I know what it is like to struggle and barely get by. I don't want that for my kids, and they are always welcome to stay with me rent-free. When she is ready, I told her I would help her in finding a place of her own. She did end up filing a police report, simply to have the paperwork to be able to get her bank account fixed, and possibly some of the money returned that he drained. This isn't guaranteed, and can take a long time, possibly have to go to civil court for it. As I knew it would be, the report was frustrating. Like they always do, the police basically told her and us that there wasn't anything they could do about it at the moment, and that there has to be a pattern of behavior to prove she needs a personal protection order. Tomorrow we go to the court to file paperwork for a restraining order, as long as they accept it. As for his family and mine that were bashing me for being a bad mom and abandoning my son, They got a reality check. My son snapped at one point and went on social media, completely verbally bashing me and her. Some of the things he said, it was horrible. He was calling me the C word, and her name's one calls a lady of the night. Talking about how he knows better than a woman does in what is good for her, that she is a spoiled brat who needed to be put in her place, and violent threats. Made a bunch of people start to see that side of him. The posts were screenshotted and printed to add to the stack against him. So there we go. Thank you everyone for the support. We are still fighting this uphill battle, but we are going to win the war.